Brindley with No Real Producers, and I'm here with the wonderful Tom and Bryan, who started Max House Price in our October edition. If y'all haven't read on it yet, make sure you do. Max House Price. So, tell me about Max House Price. Like, what is it exactly that you all do?
So Max House Price, in the most simplest form, we do pre-list renovations, pay at close, meaning where there's no cost to the agent and there's no upfront cost for the seller. And our goal is to make sure that the seller is netting as much as they possibly can, while also managing and taking the stress. So it's a hassle-free renovation process. And the good thing about us is, you have me who's like more like the cheerleader. Hi, how you doing? What's up? What's up, T? And then you have Tom, who's very systematized, very process oriented. So the combination between the two allows us to go ahead and really provide this process in the system that makes it as enjoyable as construction can be. But also the goal is to be super pro realtor and to do everything we can to make sure that it's a win-win, is what I would say. So pre-list renovations, pay at close, no cost to the agent, no upfront cost for the seller.
Beautiful. So, how did this happen, y'all? Like, did you always think you'd do this? Like, tell us the story behind how did Max House Price, get started?
Take, you want to take it?
So Bryan and I, we've known each other for almost 20 years now. Met Bryan a long time ago at BNI when Bryan himself had just first gotten into real estate, and I was doing home improvement sales, and we've just been more like business friends, business associates for a long time, and stayed connected throughout the years, getting together, just brainstorming with each other, helping each other, lifting each other up. And I was looking to make a change after working for a large investor for a large time, and I was just talking to Bryan. I was like, hey, Bryan, I think I actually said to Bryan, I was like, Bryan, can I come be your COO of your company? He's like, dude, what are you talking about? Hang on a second. I was like, you need to do this, this, and this. And I was like, okay, well, what else you got going on? And he had told me this story, and come to find out, Bryan, as an agent, Bryan doesn't do a whole lot of agent stuff anymore, but when Bryan was more as an agent, learning that this is something that's kind of a common occurrence where agent comes across this property and then like the carpet needs to be replaced and needs to be painted. And they know if I just could get this done, I'm going to sell the house for way more money. Seller's going to net more. It's going to sell fast. Like everything's just going to be so much better if we can just take care of these few things. But so many people just, what do we say all the time? We're house rich, but cash poor. People have so much equity in their house. So Bryan was just telling me this story of this lady that he helped in Woodbridge where she didn't have the money. And it was a really simple renovation. I think, what was it, Bryan? It was like $10,000 or $12,000, but it increased the sales price by $30,000. I was like, wait a second, explain to me, like, and I'm like taking notes, trying to track everything. I'm like, that's it, Bryan, let's do this. Let's make this a business. And that's pretty much what happened.
Yeah, Tom was talking about, he's like, are you buying the house? And I'm like, no, dude, I don't buy the house. I didn't buy the house. I'm just paying for the renovations and managing the contract. He's like, right, that's a business. That right there, you're solving the pain of the seller, and they're bringing the house, they're bringing the equity, you're bringing your expertise. And I was like, I like it. And full disclosure, I do Tom's laundry. I mow his lawn. Like I wash his, like anything he needs. Like he's got the nicer shirt. I got like the little white, like Hanes. I'm like, hey, it's okay. I'm so verklempt. Go ahead, Chris.
Well, it sounds like we had the two right people in place, had the great idea, because y'all have taken off like a shot, like just double business, right? 2019, 2020, 2021. What's been most rewarding and challenging for y'all, like especially with how quickly you're growing?
I think for me, if nothing else, this service is such a disruptor in the marketplace, right? I think as the market continues to shift, the real estate market continues to shift, not only in DC Metro, but nationwide, you as a professional real estate agent have to have a tool and multiple tools in your tool belt. So just seeing where the agents have really adopted and saying, hey, I need that value. I need that value as a real estate professional to my clients. and here's a solution that doesn't cost me anything, but really brings more. And the bottom line, they can literally see the higher net when they get the house renovated and then sold. So on the rewarding side is you see these agents, they're building their practice, they're building their business, they're really refining their service offering to their client, and the clients love it. I think that's probably the biggest thing that I've seen. T, what about you? What have you seen?
Well, two parts for me. I'd piggyback on that. One, just, having this business that agents are able to utilize that helps them, obviously helps us and our employees and our crews and the communities and the neighbors, and the seller ultimately. So coming from a world where you're really extracting value as an investor, and you're making money by buying a house for less than what it's worth, to actually now turn around and saying we're adding value to these people. And at times it can be significant. I mean, we've had jobs where it's in excess of $100,000 additional that the seller has walked away with. So apart from any reward that we have as a business, I mean, it's just awesome that we're able to partner with the agents and their clients, and that they come back to us, and it's very fulfilling. I also was in a world where the adage of you don't spend money and you don't make money unless you spend money kind of thing. Like, that was the whole deal. You got to pump more money in marketing. For us, it was about pumping more of our time and energy into relationships and listening to what people have to say and how can we make it better. And on that point, the second thing for me is just our team. We have been blessed with incredible talent that sees what we're doing and sees our vision that we have, and they're just grabbing onto it. And it's just an amazing, very gratifying feeling as a business owner. It gives you a lot of confidence to really kind of push the team harder to say, hey, we're bought in. Now, how do we really take what we've done and how do we make it better? How do we make it a better experience? How do we, do jobs quicker and turn around and costs and all of these things?
I think, and T, you hit it, because honestly, more than anything else, we focus so much on the core and the culture of the team. I mean, we got people we're 3 years old, and we got people that have been promoted to sales manager and director of construction. And you're just seeing the growth of these individuals and these team members just buying into the vision and what we're trying to deliver to the market. And then just being a resource to the agent and being a resource and a problem solver for the seller. It's been awesome. It's that win-win home selling solution.
Win-win. And vision coming to life, right? Like vision, your vision's coming, to life. So you've been talking about it, but for our real producers, how do you get clients?
Okay, how do we get clients?
Well, one, we show up when we're called on. Our early strategy was just awareness, do everything we could do to make people aware that we existed. We spent a lot of money.
Obscurity is the number one thing to overcome as a company. Yeah.
We spent a lot of money on social media. I mean, social media is a great tool. We use that. Bryan definitely got a little nervous looking at the credit card bills every month from Facebook, and Tom, what are you doing? I'm like, don't worry, just trust me. We just gotta stay the course. So that was kind of the initial, when it was just kind of solo entrepreneur, me kind of wearing 12 hats. But now it's just the team. I've never met an individual in my life that knows how to build relationships in a true and authentic way, like how Bryan does. So we've really just taken Bryan's brain and taken some of my experience and putting that together and just mentoring the team, training them. We have weekly sales training where we're just really going over how do you develop a relationship? How can you go, network with agents and just really let them know that you're a resource. So we feel very much so scratching the surface. So for us, it's just different agents we partner with, looking for opportunities, giving presentations to brokerages, showing up at real producers events. I think you guys got, by the time this comes out, there's a big one coming. So our teammate, he's so excited. It's awesome. He's like, I get to go see the GOAT and I get to go network. What more could I ask for? It's awesome.
Thank you.
I think also, Chris, and you giving us an opportunity to really showcase what we do. It's also, I think, our follow-up, just like you and your follow-up, right? Unfortunately, the construction industry has this thing where they go out, they give an estimate, they don't follow up, there's no follow through. We love when there's hiccups. We love when there's challenges. We love, as much as, they are challenges and obstacles and hiccups, that's an opportunity to make the agent look like a hero, to make us look like a hero and just serve. So I think the service mentality, the serve mentality, following through, following up, has really helped us build our brand and build just really good street cred. So people are like, you know what? It's not like we work with an agent and they're done and they never work with us again. Like, we have agents that continually use us on a regular basis. And so building a referral-based system where the energy and effort and just the thought goes to the agent and to the client, it's so big for us. And we have to be authentic about it. So
that's a game.
Really
That's it. Yeah. Good. God. Yeah. That mentality itself with retention for clients. I mean, that is the key to the golden gate. It feels like
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's it.
I'm not surprised between you two and interacting with you, Bryan. Like, I'm not surprised. What do you guys want to focus on the rest of this year, next year? You were talking about systems earlier and even more service. Like, is there anything specific you want to talk about that you're like focusing on?
We were really just I'm a big believer in keep things simple. I don't, I've had someone ask me before, like, do you guys have some like secret IP or something? Like, what are you guys doing? And I know there's other folks out there that may say, some different data points. I'm like, I don't know where they get them from. Like, all I know is we want to get better. Generally the client's right, but the client's not always right. There's always those outliers, right? So we gotta have a little bit of asterisk, but we have to be honest with ourselves and say, hey, we're growing. We've never been here before. This is a new challenge. Like, what is the feedback that we're getting? So for us, as we look to grow, we know that if we just continue to internally self-reflect, improve processes, just a little bit every day, every week, that's going to help us grow, instead of focusing on, hey, how are we going to spend more money? How are we going to do more marketing? How are we going to do more of this? We're really just looking inside ourselves and say, how do we get better? And if we get better, then we're a big believer that we've built a big enough core that they're going to notice, and that's just going to continue to grow. And that's what we're really focusing on. And that comes through empowering our employees who are working for us, that have the responsibility of executing the day-to-day, the ones that are responsible for getting those estimates turned around as fast as possible, making sure that crews are showing up when they show up, all of these things that really just go into play, just really a heightened sense of like just dialing every piece in. So it's not any like grand, like we have tech systems and this and that, and we can talk about that, but at the end of the day, you can have great tech systems. Like, I've seen plenty of failed implementations of Salesforce. Like, the tech doesn't do anything, it's the people utilizing it. So how do we make it easy for them?
I think also just helping the agent create more leverage in their business, use MaxHousePrice as a way to grow their business and really refine their market, their target market. I talked about it a little earlier, where the market is shifting, and what is that agent doing to go ahead and stand out and bring value to the marketplace and to their clients and to their database? And how can MaxHousePrice be a resource to them to be able to go ahead and help them capture more market share, and do it in a fun way? Like, do it in a way that people are like, oh my gosh, MaxHousePrice, like, heck yeah, they are freaking awesome. I will continually use them over and over and over. And hats off to Tom. Like, Tom running the company and the things that he's done. Like, I know how to use a flathead and a Phillips. Like, I still get confused at times, so it's all good. But it's really key that, like, without Tom, there's no way we'd be where we are. And so I think strong leadership and continually to grow as leaders and continually grow ourselves as people, and as just growing that culture and just developing it and just investing in our core and our team is so key. And I think we're going to continue to do that. There's so many other companies that are like, it's about the bottom line, it's about profit, it's about numbers, it's about this. I think it's also about, like, how are you treating your employees? Like, what's the longevity? Do you have a lot of turnover? Like, do people like the work environment they're in? And do they see the growth and see being able to grow within the company? So I think it's twofold. It's agent focused, it's client focused, and then it's also team focused. I think that's really key.
Yeah, maybe just a couple of things on there. I don't know that Brian knows how to use a Phillips or a flathead, so I really want to see that. So maybe there'll be a follow-up where we'll like have Brian like
We could have a spoof video. That'd be fun. Anyway.
maybe he can put together like some IKEA furniture or something. We definitely would have to like do like the fast frame stuff, but I think it's also when you look at the more that the team is more engaged, they're going to help us, hear and see because they want to present themselves well. They're concerned about their relationships because they've taken this time and effort. So it really comes full circle because it's not this like, hey, close this deal, you get a good commission check, you help these people out, everyone wins. It's like, how do you do it repeatedly? How do you become that allied resource? And I'm guessing it may be on the tip of your tongue, Kristen, but like this market's changing, right? I'm sure, or this market has changed. And one thing that we've talked about a lot is like, this has been a really challenging market for us to grow in because, wow, there hasn't been a whole lot of, the needs of the agent with this crazy market we've been in is like, I'm sure you hear about it every day, and just the little sample size we get by working with different agents, we can see it's shifted already, and it's going to continue. And that provides more opportunity to help more folks as the market slows down. Where, hey, there's 4 houses in your neighborhood for sale, like putting a sign and standard marketing and hoping for the best isn't going to work anymore. You really need to present that property well because buyers have options. Houses are expensive. They want value.
Well, do you guys know what this is? Opportunities are knocking, and we are coming. We're bringing it. It is so awesome. I think the agency opportunities. I see MaxHousePrice helping the agents with those opportunities. But a market like this that shifts is the ideal time to bring in MaxHousePrice, right? It's that tool in the tool belt. It's the extra value add. It's the capture more market share. Kristen, you've been so awesome, and you've been so helpful in like the growth and like in the things that you're doing within Real Producers and what you're doing in your expansion. Just like us, we want to grow. We just, it's about smart growth. It's about making sure that yin and yang. So I think Tom is yang and I'm yin. Or maybe
we wore black and white today too, so that was good.
Oh yeah, perfect. You know what? There you go. It's like starchy and hut. Is it starchy or starchy and hutch? Or I maybe we're not gonna go there. Okay, we'll go there later.
Peanut butter and banana.
Yeah, I don't like peanut butter, so I'll be jelly. You be peanut butter, so it's all good.
How do you not like peanut butter? Anyway, no, you guys, it's always an honor and fun to hang out with you all together, especially. And, one last thing for our Real Producers, like, what are you guys learning right now? Because like, are there any books or podcasts or things you're listening to? Anything you want to share with these guys? Because they're always growing, and I always love talking about that stuff with you all. Like, is there anything you want to share?
T, you want to go? Because I know I got a couple things.
So, I mean, for me, it's really just going back to all the things I've learned over my career, and like now having the opportunity to really, being the owner of the business, to be able to really put them in place. So it's really just kind of, I've had some great mentors over the years. So it's really right now for us as a business is really just, it's about just teaching the team and how do you invest in them to lead the company. So not anything specific for me, but what I am learning that real estate's a really challenging marketplace right now. I think personally, this world we're in, this still COVID, post-COVID, whatever you want to call it, like people are changing, some for the better, some for the worse, right? And we've seen it with some of these transactions that we've been a part of where folks aren't selling on good terms. They may be getting divorced. They may be relocating because they can't afford, they lost their job. So not only is it stressful enough to like sell and move, and then you put in a situation that's not favorable, and then you throw a renovation on top, we're really, pushing ourselves to be more empathetic. Really, we really have to relate and understand. It's very easy to just like a situation to happen and maybe get upset about it. But I think when you take a step back and you think big picture and you really try to put yourself in the other person's shoes and say, hey, we're happy to be doing this. Maybe, the agent's excited, but the owner's not really necessarily happy. This isn't what they had planned. This wasn't their vision. At least we can lessen the blow by helping them net more money. So I think the more that we have that in front and center, is going to help us serve our clients better, because we're really like listening to their needs and their challenges of what they're going through, versus like, here's what we think, here's how it should be, here's how you need to do it. Like, it's not that at all. It's like, let's take what we're hearing from the market and institute that as it fits within our core values.
Yeah, T, you hit it on the nail. And we talk about all the time about empathy. It's not just empathy within the team. It's not just empathy with the agent. It's empathy with the market, with the seller, and just listening. Like, I think a lot of people, they just don't listen. And our whole thing is how can we relate? How can we be of value? How can we not, we're not selling anything. That's our thing. We don't have a product. We're not selling something. Like, this is more as a value add for you to create this win-win. And I think for me personally, I have put a lot of time and effort in the past 18 months, reading a lot more. I'm reading 2 to 3 books a month. I just finished The Everything Store by Jeff Bezos. Everybody says it's Bezos. It's actually Bezos. There was a little parenthesis in how you italicize it, or how you guys say his last name. Steve Jobs, I'm really learning, more on the leadership and growth as a leader, how to be a better leader, how to lead in the market, how to lead our employees, our team members, etc. And I think the biggest thing is empathy. I think a lot of people they've just been so confined and just constricted by COVID and just politics and social and all this other stuff. And I think when it comes down to it, you just have to have empathy. You got to be able to relate. You got to be able to connect, and you got to be able to listen, and then serve based on those needs. And my whole philosophy, Tom's whole philosophy, is find the pain, solve the pain. You find the pain, you solve the pain. The market, the opportunities, Chris, you know as well as I do, there is so many opportunities coming, and they're here now, but they got to be the right opportunities. And so we will continue to invest time, energy, money into empathy, is what I would say.
I've heard over and over, like through this, and when I've talked to you previously, like service, empathy, and Tom, I love it every time you say keep it simple, because many times we overcomplicate a lot of different things. So these are great tips for our real producers and for entrepreneurs everywhere and the clients. And I appreciate you all being with us today. This is a great interview. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh. It's almost like now the next steps is like Black Eyed Peas. Let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Bryan, you want to sing us out?
I think I am. Hey, look at these shoulders. I've been working on my shoulder dance.
That's fantastic.
You guys want to see Bryan? He'll be Friday at Improv, 10 p.m.
Yeah, $10 a head, $100 a head. Just saying. Right.
That is awesome.